everyone, Jennifer Hensel here of Inspired Influencers, and welcome to day 4 of the Book Bliss Challenge. Congratulations for making it this far. So we've got a number of different things to cover today. One of the things I want to talk to you about is your self-publishing timeline, and I've got a handout for you. So download that, and it's going to give you an idea so you can have reasonable expectations as far as what to expect time-wise, especially with the KDP system. So writing can take you an unlimited amount of time. So it just depends how much you want to put into the writing. But if you haven't even started, you want to give yourself at least a minimum of 1 month for that. So you'll see that on the timeline. Editing and proofing, the turnaround. Now, if you're doing it yourself, you need to schedule in a good amount of time for yourself. If you're outsourcing it, you need to give them at least 2 to 4 weeks time. So don't expect it any sooner than that. They need time to go through it and edit it properly for you. Sometimes you'll get it edited, and then you need to send it to someone for proofing. So you might have 2 different people doing that job. I knew someone who sent it through 8 editors and proofers and still had mistakes. It happens, you guys. I have some books with mistakes in. Sometimes it just happens, but it has not reduced the power that my books has had in my business. So just remember that done is better than perfect. Now, of course, with a book, you want to try your hardest to have everything right. But just so you know, give yourself lots of time to make that happen then and run it through a number of people. So the editing and proofing. And then the KDP self-publishing. Okay, so you need at least 2 to 4 weeks to you want to upload everything, and then you want to order a proof. So let's just take a look at the proof. This is a proof. Now you'll see the difference. Here's an original book. And here's the proof, has a stripe through it. Okay, this is only for you to look at. You can bypass this step, but I don't recommend it because it'll say, do you want a printed proof or not? Get the printed proof. When we first ordered Paul's book, we ordered 100, and there was a production mistake. So what happened was the words on the side, on the spine, were crooked. And of course, that's a printing issue. That's nothing to do with our design. In our design, it was straight. And so all we had to do was take a picture of the crooked spines and send it to them. And they replaced them and they shipped them out. That happened twice. Then when they shipped out the second batch, for some strange reason, oddly, there was a paragraph missing. Now, I don't know how they even did that because this is an image. But anyways, there was a paragraph or 2 missing on the back. And then we had to get them again. So it took us quite a bit of time to get the proper shipment of 100 books. But they were really good to work with too, just so you know. So if a production mistake happens like that, they were really good. They didn't charge us extra or anything like that. We just had to send proof that there were some things wrong. So they sent us the other shipment, but all of that takes time, right? So you want to keep that in mind. And so I know some people that have, grabbing my notes. I know some people that have, booked launch parties and things like that, and the books aren't there. So you just want to give yourself lots and lots of time for all of that. So, all right. So in your timeline, it's going to talk about that, the KDP timeline, getting your proof, and then planning your launch parties. So if you're having an online launch party, let's just talk about launch parties for a minute. If you're having an online launch party, then you want to do it on the day of the launch of your book so that everybody's buying it on the same day. And that's just so you know, it has to do with bestseller lists. So I'll talk about that in a minute. But the other thing in your timeline is live parties. Your live party doesn't have to happen if you're going to have a live party, launch party for your book. And maybe you do a little reading of your book or something and let people buy copies. So that would be after you've launched it on Amazon. So the online party is you're launching it online. You want everybody to buy copies that day. And then a live launch party would be live and in person, and maybe you'll do a little speaking and you'll have people there and you can order some food and people can socialize and know about your book and buy your book. Okay. And maybe you have other programs you're going to sell there too, but that's a live book launch party. We've also done lots of book signings. So book signings are different. You'll go into a bookstore and do a little talk and then sign some books for people. So you can sign some books at your launch party too. Okay, so those are different things you need to plan, and you need, you know, on any event, depending on the size, to plan the venue and all that, you need at least a couple months. So give yourself lots of time in your timeline to plan all these things. Don't leave things at the last minute thinking that it won't take very long. So for example, with the shipment of the books, you know, I was so glad they came in right within days of the event, but you really need to give yourself lots of time. So those are some of the things I wanted to cover. Now, bestsellers list. So this is another thing that people talk about. So I just want to talk to you about this candidly. Traditional publishers have another type of bestseller. So the actual type of bestseller that is traditionally what people know is through, in the US and around the world, it's the New York Times bestseller list. And those have very strict limitations. It's difficult for self-publishers. You got to go through a lot of hoops. It's not impossible, but it's typically for traditional publishers. You have to sell at least, in some cases, 10,000 books minimum within a week of the launch, or in some cases, if it's an established author, 5,000. So if you read somewhere that it's 5,000, if you're a self-publisher, you may be looking more at 10,000. And there's a lot more to it. I'm going to post an article about it. But, and then in Canada, there's a minimum of 5,000 copies sold within a certain amount of time too. It just depends on your niche and different things in your category and things like that. But that's the traditional bestseller. When people are saying bestseller today, normally what they mean is they have a launch party, try to get a bunch of people to buy it on the day through Amazon. And then what you do is you go in, and in your categories, your book is most likely, because a lot of people are buying it, going to rise to the top of the category, and you'll see it there at #1. And that's what people are calling bestseller today. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. I just wanted you to know the difference. There's definitely, whenever I've launched any of my books, I've been able to get in the #1 spot in the Amazon. I've never used it or promoted it a lot. That's just how I've gone about it. I haven't found it, you know, the fact that I haven't sort of capitalized on that has not diminished the help that my book has given me in my business, my books. So it's up to you if you want to just, you know, don't be upset if you can't say you're a best-selling author. It just seems like a huge trend right now. But there's those two different kinds of best-selling authors. Really, anybody can publish a book on Amazon, get a whole bunch of people to buy it in a day, rise to the top, take a screenshot of you in the #1 spot, and presto, you're a best-selling author. So there's just the different kinds, and it just depends how you're going to use your book. You know, is it really important to you? If it's really super important to you, do that. Do that. Get a bestseller, screenshot it, and you'll be an Amazon bestseller. I just wanted to let you know the difference. Okay, so that's about bestsellers and how to accomplish that. I've talked about, I'm just going to look at my notes. I've talked about mistakes. I've talked about, okay, and getting your proof. We talked about that. The final production. So I'm going to be doing a demo on the final production. We've covered the first and second tab with setting up your book, and we're going to cover the fourth tab in the demonstration. The other thing I just want to let you know about, you're going to be asked by Amazon, and if you're not, make sure you do this, fill out a tax form W8-BEN, it's called. It's tax form W8-BEN. You need to fill that out, otherwise they're going to withhold a bunch of your royalties, okay? And it's just a tax form to do with the treaty between Canada and the US, or Amazon. So, well, a treaty between the countries, but it applies to your sales through Amazon. So you need to make sure you fill out that form, okay, you guys? The other thing I want to make sure you get to do with events is my Event Buzz, which is a blueprint for filling your events, and it's a checklist for before, during, and after your events. So I have planned and promoted over 500 events as a business owner. I'm not an event planner, but I have planned events to promote my business. And so I just wanted to give you that. I've developed it. I created the plan for myself, and now I am giving it to you. So you can have a copy of that in the downloads. Be sure to watch the demo, and then at the end of this video, you'll see the challenges, your homework, and the downloads and links. Okay? The next step is, now that you have your manuscript and your cover art loaded, you can click Launch Preview, and it's going to give you a 3D view of your book. This is the Launch Previewer, so it has two purposes. It's going to show you exactly what your book is going to look like on the outside and inside. So this is the outside cover from back to front. And if we hover over here, it will have an arrow, and we can look through and make sure everything is just the way we want it. We can make sure everything's on the right page, on the right side. This is just like you're flipping through your book. This is what it will look like when you get the print version. And so you go through and you check everything, you make sure everything's right. And the second reason that you need to open this Launch Previewer is to click the Approve button. So this is very, very important that you really take a good look inside this previewer and make sure everything's right. And then click Approve, and there we go. Ooh, this is what it's going to cost, $2.15. That's even less than I thought. I think that's even less than my last workbook. $2.15, you can buy it as the author. This price is only available to you as the author. So they didn't used to have this pop up right away. So I'm really, really pleased to see this. They're showing you the price of what you can buy the book at right away. That's good. So again, this is the author price right there of what you can buy the book at. Here's all the details. And now we're going to click Save and Continue. Here we are in the third tab at the top. Select territories for which you hold the distribution rights. In this challenge, we assume that you've written your book and you hold the copyright for it around the world. But if you have any specifications that are different than that, take a look right here at their Learn More About Distribution Rights. So all territories worldwide. And I'm going to go $20 US, and this is for Amazon.com. But you can choose the price for each of your markets. So that would automatically translate to $26.17 in Canadian, but I still just want to make it 20 Canadian. It's up to you what you're going to price your books at. And you can choose your price for each of these locations, or if you leave them blank, they will automatically translate that $20 into that currency. So I'm going to leave the rest of these as is and let them convert the price. Now, at this point, you can click Request Printed Proofs of this book. And I highly, highly recommend that. Definitely request the printed proof. Here we are on the Request Proof Copies page. Now just note, they don't have the .ca. You can't order it from the .ca for your proof. It has to be the .com, which means it's going to come from the United States. It's going to cost you $2.15. Submit proof request. Within 4 hours of submitting your request, we will set up your proof copy and you will receive an email with a link to complete your proof order. So make sure you follow these instructions. Now, Amazon KDP is going to send you your proof. When they do that, they'll also send you some email messages, and you need to read those and click the applicable links. They're going to want you to approve the proof, and then when you're ready, you're going to publish your paperback book. And at that time, when the book status changes to live, you'll be able to order your author copies. So you'll be able to order more copies then. When you're ready to order your author copies, I like to order 100 at a time. That's just me. I don't like too much stock taking up room. And you can just buy one if you want. There's no minimums whatsoever, and you can buy hundreds if you want. I just buy 100 at a time. They go really fast when I bring them in. Anytime we bring a case in, they go really quickly. We take them to events. They sell very easily. We also give them away as value-added gifts to people that join our programs and things like that, different weekend trainings and those kinds of things. There's lots of purposes for your book. Of course, it's not a huge moneymaker selling them at $20 per piece, but where you're going to make your money is in all the credibility it gives you and how you can upsell to other things. So I'll be covering multiple streams of income on day 5 and show you how you can make more money from your book. So I'm going to wait for my proof to come in before I press that button. So that's it for the KDP publishing platform. You enter your paperback details in tab 1, upload your transcript and your cover in tab 2, and in this section, fill this out, authorize it, approve it, order your proof, and then you're going to click publish and order your author copies. You just complete the process and get your books. I love it. I hope you love it too. Here are your day 4 challenges. And you have 2 options. A is a beginner or intermediate level. Take a look at the self-publishing timeline that I created for you and work out your own timeline. Share with us when your desired release date will be in a post in the Inspired Influencers group. And B, finish the 3rd tab in your book publishing project in KDP and order your proof. Exciting. Share it with us in a post in the group. And here are your handouts and downloads for today. That's the self-publishing timeline. Event Buzz, a blueprint for filling your events and increasing engagement. It's my plan for before, during, and after your event. Social media marketing and other things to help you promote your event. Now, I've planned and promoted over 500 events, as you know, of all sizes, and I've refined this over a number of years. This is pretty much my checklist of everything I do for my events. So hopefully you'll find that helpful. So I just wanted to give this to you as a gift. And another bonus, how to write your book in 30 days. This is part of our Story Academy program, which is under the Likeable Leadership level of membership. And so I just wanted to gift that to you guys to help you in your book writing journey. Again, just click the arrow in the top right there, and you can download it to your own device. Now make sure you download all these downloads before the end of the challenge, because everything's going to go back in the vault and become part of the membership again. So members, you'll be able to access this after the event for as long as you have your membership. Okay, we'll see you on day 5 tomorrow of the Book Bliss Challenge. Thanks everybody. Bye for now.